All right, guys, what's going on? Summer Del Piso back once again with yet another video about Theravada Buddhism. All right, this is what we're going to talk about today, Theravada Buddhism. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get right into another interpretation of yet another chapter in this Dhammapada book right now, right? So what is Theravada Buddhism for the people that are just tuning in? So Theravada Buddhism is essentially the original sect of Buddhism. More specifically, it's for people to personally find nirvana. There's the other half of Buddhism, which is Mahayana, I believe, and that's more of an approach to get people and en masse to become Buddhists and to find nirvana. I think that both approaches are good for the collective whole, because if individually people are finding nirvana, eventually their ways and their auras will influence others that have not been able to seek nirvana to find nirvana, right? And nirvana, as we know, is just like a place of ultimate understanding, bliss, peace, serenity, understanding of the worlds, right? Understanding the worlds that are, the worlds that were, and your lives to come, right? So let's get right into it, man. We got some good stuff here. What are we going to analyze? Okay, interesting. So the chapter that we're going to go analyze today is called The Fool, right? So we know about the fool, right? The fool is the one that's rejected generally. The fool is the one that makes a fool, quite literally, of himself or herself in front of the masses, and seemingly by the collective, that individual doesn't really have so much of a future because they're a fool, they're silly. I don't know if you guys are Rider-Waite tarot fans, or you guys ever heard of the tarot cards, but the fool is the least valued number in the deck of the Rider-Waite. However, the fool is essentially going through the entire cycle of all the cards in the tarot. So it goes through High Priestess, Hierophant, Magician, all that, culminating in the World, which is just a complete understanding of what that is, or the Rider-Waite's version of Nirvana. Let's get into it. So the thing is, we hear the fool, don't be discouraged, because the fool always evolves. Nothing stays the same at any point in history. Perhaps just this degenerative state of the West, but that's for a different story. That's a different story. Let's get into it. So long is the night to the sleepless, right? Long is the league to the weary. Long is worldly existence to fools who know not the sublime truth. So we have, okay, listen. So we have these situations, right, where we have people at work, they work their various jobs. They're like, oh man, I can't wait for work to end. Oh, I can't wait till the weekend. Oh, I can't wait till this. They're consistently, perpetually waiting for the future to come. The future comes, of course, they're excited in that moment, the moments that make up the future. And then they go on to their mundane, simple lives, right? Which encompasses the weekend as well, but it's just that they're just not at that level where they could understand or be excited about it all, right? I'm not gonna lie, my job right now, right, as working in the office, is kind of mundane, right? We just type it on the computer, we're talking to our boss, the boss talks to us, we do some work, we do show the boss the work, the boss evaluates the work, the boss puts it in a folder, next day comes, it happens all over again. Over a long period of time, it will definitely barrage the psyche, right? Because you're bored, essentially. There's nothing happening, right? As like, the weekend where people will come together and drink and take drugs and smoke whatever they smoke now, and then they have, unwarranted pregnancies and whatnot, and that's the excitement and drama in their lives. Instead of just applying that activity of the weekend to it all. You just have to find excitement in the mundane. Then again, it comes to understanding of truth, right? If you're sort of enlightened, not saying that I am, but if you sort of understand life, I think that these mundane moments are very, very normal and simple, right? Let's keep going. Should a seeker not find a companion who is better or equal, let him resolutely pursue a solitary course. There is no fellowship with the fool. Okay, listen, you are the company that you keep. You have individuals all around you that like to do the aforementioned activities, and they find spice in those activities. They drink, they have sex, they smoke weed, and they take drugs. Like, this is fun to these guys. And it seems like they're confident, right? It seems like they're living like, they're living in the moment. But in reality, they are condemning themselves to the long term that will come upon them, right? By wasting their moments doing these silly things. If you are an individual trying to seek some idea of enlightenment, maybe you're not trying to get to the kingdom of heaven, or you're not trying to transcend the dunya. If you are not necessarily putting a label on those things, but you are trying to improve yourself, the inevitable destination are those aforementioned things, the kingdom of heaven, nirvana, the peak of the summit of the mountain, right? So you have to understand that the majority of people are just not going to be on your team. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be doing these silly things. And I assure you, there is no drunkard. There is no person that takes drugs. There's no one that has sex. No one that has a family that will enter the kingdom of heaven. It's as simple as that. Kingdom of heaven vibration. That's what I mean. There's no way. Let's just continue. The fool worries thinking, I have sons, I have wealth. Indeed, when he himself is not his own, whence are our sons? Whence is wealth? Powerful things, right? These guys they sort of validate to themselves. There's no way. Like I said, there is no way. If you have these aforementioned things, if you do drugs, if you drink, you have kids, there's no way you're entering the kingdom of heaven. You are worried of the things of the world. Remember, the energy to create a child is based off the semen. The semen, when cultivated in the body, can do wonderful things, as we know about the powers of semen retention. Because you have used that energy for physical manifestation, right, of that energy has now has to equivocate with the vibration of this world. Meaning, you have to, of course, and then of course there's a baby, essentially. So you have to raise it. You are devoting all of your energies into taking care of this child, into taking care of this being now. Therefore, losing sight of the things of the higher realm. Inevitably, you will not reach nirvana. This is just as simple as that. There is no further truth. I'm telling you, Paul tried to, I guess this is why the Jewish people are sort of angry at the Christians, right? The Jewish people try to say, listen, there's a way to heaven. You have to be sexually continent. Of course, they're validated to have families and whatnot. Paul says, listen, if you cannot control your lust, you have to, bind yourself with a mate, right? Or else you'll, get caused to do crazy things. There's Jesus as well that also talked about if you are ready to be celibate for the kingdom of heaven, be celibate. There is no way. Listen, there are things of the world. You could be of the world to perpetuate the world. And that's all you're going to be doing. Don't think that you're going to be doing anything higher, right? Anything powerful. Whilst you have a family, whilst you drink, whilst you do drugs, because that's just simply not possible. You're not ready for the higher realms. It's as simple as that. A fool who knows his foolishness is wise, at least to that extent. But a fool who thinks himself wise is a fool indeed. We know this, right? You guys may think I'm intelligent to some degree, but I'm really not. I promise you. I just have a very good memory, and I'm sort of analytical about the things that come within my space. That's really it. I don't know if that's proof or evidence of some sort of intelligence, but that's just the long, the tall, the short. I also have a lot of willpower. I know staunchly in my very being that if you have a relationship, if you have families, if you have kids, if you drink alcohol, if you smoke cigarettes and weed, if you do drugs, there's no way I can ascend. It's as simple. I know that. I don't know if that's evident of some sort of intelligence, because I don't know if I can apply that in order to find out rocket propulsion and test those things in my basement, right? But I'm just saying that I just have willpower to the things that I think matter the most, which is understanding the things of this world, the machinations and the systems thereof, and the ascensions of and the transcendence of the things thereof. Let's keep going. So, though all his life a fool associates with a wise man, he no more comprehends the truth than a spoon tastes the flavor of the soup. Do you understand that? Hello. That's interesting. That's such an interesting reference, an example, right? The spoon is the vessel for holding the soup, right? The spoon holds the soup. No matter how close in proximity that spoon is to the spoon cannot taste the soup. It's not possible. It doesn't have the faculties for it. The Buddha is just so intelligent with the way that he creates these references, these examples, these connections. The only way to be able to perceive truth, right, is to have the faculties for it. You can be around Buddha himself, Jesus himself, Krishna, right? Vishnu. Buddha is one of the incarnations of Vishnu. You can be next to the individual and he's exuding that aura of just understanding of light. But if you just don't have the faculties to perceive it, then it's just a man that makes you incredibly uncomfortable, just standing right next to you. Now, though only for a moment a discerning person associates with a wise man, quickly he comprehends the truth, just as the tongue tastes the flavor of the soup. Wow. You taste the soup, truth in this case, and you are just filled with complete understanding. Of course, you have to have, just to follow the metaphor, you have to have the faculties within the tongue, the taste faculties, in order to perceive the different flavors of the soup, right? Which is important. Fools of little wit are enemies unto themselves as they move about doing evil deeds, the fruits of which are bitter. Guys, I'm telling you this. I tell you this all the time. It doesn't matter what these people in this world do. See, it doesn't matter what success they have. I promise you. It doesn't matter if they have great jobs. It doesn't matter if they have the ideal life that you want. They have a family, right? They're CEO of this Fortune 500 company. They have a big friend group. They drink red wine on Fridays with their friends that also do the same thing. If they are not trying to ascend, one, they drink alcohol. Two, they do drugs. They have kids. There is no way they're reaching nirvana. It doesn't matter what they try to validate to you. They understand. They're very good at predicting where the stock is going to go of Tesla next week, right? It's going to be valued at X amount. That stuff does not matter. They are of little wit. They are fools. And the fruit of everything that they try to tell you is going to be bitter. You'll be good. Of course, you want to keep your job. Assuming that you're under these guys' employ, you nod. Yes, that's true. I agree completely, sir. My goodness. Tesla, I was thinking you were talking about Nikola Tesla. I didn't think that you were talking about the Elon Musk company with all those electric cars that are pretty much faulty. You agree, but you do not associate with them. You don't listen to anything that they have to say. Let's keep going. Ill done is that action of doing which one repeats later, and the fruit of which one weeping reaps with tears. Guys, look at them. These guys are too wise. I like literature. That's still not evident of any intelligence of any sort. I like literature. I like to read. I like to write. I will never be able to write like these guys because they're just so intelligent, man. They're just so smart. Did you hear what he said? He said, ill done is that action of doing which one repeats later, and the fruit of which one weeping reaps with tears. Listen, you will take an action, an evil action, and then you will do it again because the body is just a machine. It is due to repeat the actions that barrage the body, that barrage the senses, that barrage the memory. It's going to keep doing it. It's going to keep doing it. And of course, with familiarity, it is a validation to yourself. No matter what kind of morality, well, the stance on morality you may have, just because you grew up kicking a child, for example, you're going to continuously validate that in your future. The same thing is with the micro actions of treating the individuals around you. You may be rude or you may be dismissive, and the more you do that, the more you're closing those windows and tunnels of fate to the higher realms. You need to be introspective about what the hell you're doing. That's the only way to ascend. That's really it. Guys, understand that the more ties you have to this modern world, I'm telling you, it will be hard for you to make these decisions. It is easy to be a good person. It is easy to be Buddha. Buddha took actually a very, very powerful route. Like I said, Siddhartha, Gautama, he was rich. He lived in a place of decadence. He decided to leave that decadence because he got some understanding, perhaps from the connection of Vishnu, that there is no way that one could become enlightened if they are surrounded and sheltered by comfort and luxury. We need to have this mindset when it comes to seeking ascension. Let's keep going. All right, well done is that action of doing which one repents not later, and the fruit of which one reaps with delight and happiness, right? So long as an evil deed has not ripened, the fool thinks it is as sweet as honey, right? Obviously paying too much attention to short term. I'm going to do that to one person because I need to get what I want now. Not understanding that we are locked in a system that's wrought with conditions. You do one thing, there is an effect. The effect, that's karma, the karmic law. Buddha talks about it. It may not happen now, the effect, the consequence of your action, but it shall happen. You need to be incredibly wary of everything committed in this world. The best condition or the best spot that one should be is when one has cleared his karma, right? That means that every single cause, you don't know when you've committed those causes in your life, right? But you know that the effect of those causes were were presented to you and you dealt with them without perpetuating a lot more causes through bad karma. That is the best place, the best spot, the best status to have. These guys, he's saying the fool, right? The fool that does not learn from his own actions. I need to steal this apple because I need it now. I need to take this because I need it now. I need to hit this person. I need to say something wrong to this person. Not understanding that there are long-term implications of every single action committed in this world. We are in a system, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a system. Isaac Newton figured this out. Pascal figured this out. We are in a system. You cannot commit any single action without any consequence happening either now or later. Understand, if you don't believe in any religion, believe in this, and then you will change your action. Let's keep going. But when the evil deed ripens, the fool comes to grief, because the fool, he has a very good, interesting mindset because he lives in the perpetual present. Powerful, impressive. The thing is that they live in the perpetual present in regards to committing actions, and they seldom think about the future, the long-term consequence of their actions, right? Everything grows in this world. There is a vacuum for every single action. You cannot do crap in this system without it coming back at you with the opposite force. This is life. This is science. This is logic. There's no escape. Be solid. Be logical. Try not to perpetuate bad deeds. I'm telling you, because it's going to come back. There's no one escapes. If that's how they're talking about falling into hell in the Christian faith, then trust me, I would like to avoid that completely. It's a vibration, guys. It's a vibration. Let's keep going. Month after month, a fool may eat his food with the tip of a blade of grass, but he still is not worth 1/16th of those who have comprehended the truth. Imagine for eons, if you're allowed immortality, you're eating truth with a blade of grass, but you are still not even a modicum as powerful as the individuals that comprehended truth. Buddha just knows how to say things. These intelligent individuals just know how to explain themselves. It's very powerful. Truly, an evil deed committed does not immediately bear fruit. I said this. It's law. It's the logical laws, common sense. Like milk that does not turn sour all at once, but smoldering, it follows the fool like fire covered by ashes. To his own ruin, the fool gains knowledge, for it cleaves his head and destroys his innate goodness. Okay, now we're going to get into something incredibly powerful, right? What makes the individual powerful? It's not the individual that harbors knowledge. Let me explain. This is a lot. The individual that harbors knowledge is automatically a counter to everything benevolent, to everything altruistic, to everything compassionate. There is seldom a man with a high amount of intelligence that is also compassionate, because his intelligence twiddles and meddles with his logic, and his logic now defines or tells him to take advantage of people because they will take advantage of you. That's the logical thing to do, because his intelligence gives him empirical data on the constant. The true individual, right? I'm telling you, these ascended individuals, it's not hard. The true ascended individual is the one who can be a vessel for knowledge of this world, knowledge in general, and understand that people are people. We cannot be oppressive to individuals. That's just not the way to be. You have to be altruistic. Obviously, to obey the rule of karma, so you are not subject to some long-term catastrophe, which happens to all souls, granted you don't follow karma. Learn the things of the world. Try to be as intelligent as you can, but also, first and foremost, be compassionate. Understand the karmic law, the law of cause and effect, the law of consequence, which happens to us all. It affects us all. Let's keep going, guys. The fool seeks undeserved reputation, precedence among monks, authority over monasteries, and honor amongst householders, individuals that have made their way, which is foolish, not to even be ironic, which is foolish. There's only a little bit of truth that can be found amongst the aforementioned things that Buddha stated, but true knowledge comes from solitude. True knowledge comes from dividing yourself from the fetters of this world. No families, no kids, no debt, no connection to the penal system, no drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, no weed. It's easy stuff, by the way, because they don't really do anything. They only are important insofar as you exist in this low vibration. But we know this, don't we, idiots? We know this. Why are we chasing these things? You guys will, either you learn in this life or you learn in some life in the next. But you will learn it. Everyone must learn it. That's the only way to ascend. Because in the vibration of ascension, these things cannot exist. Let's go. Let both laymen and monks think that it was done by me. In every work, great and small, let them follow me. Such is the ambition of the fool, thus his desire and pride increase, which are complete obstacles to true enlightenment. If you are prideful, if you desire the things of the world, ain't no way you're getting to the higher planes, because you're even if you ascend, right, you're going to be in this pull. Right, the things of the higher, the things of the lower. I desire women. They're going to pull you from one side. I desire intelligence. I desire higher intelligence, how to transcend realms. They're going to be pulling you in this direction. You have to let go of one. Understand your mission, right? Everyone's mission is to rise. Gas rises, air rises, everything must rise, everything ascends. Everything that descends becomes foul and stagnant. Leonardo da Vinci said this with water. Water only travels downward, and when it is stagnant, it is foul. The lower that water goes, it becomes more and more foul. Logic, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need a goddamn Bible to figure this out. You don't need even this book to figure this out. You just need to use your common sense. Look at the things of the world. Even with the practice of semen retention, when semen goes out, it goes down and it becomes foul. It corrupts the spirit. That essence. When you maintain it in the body, it can only go high. Be logical, freaks. Be logical. Let's keep going. One is the quest for worldly gain, and quite another is the path to nirvana. Clearly understanding this, let not the... That's... Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. I've been telling you this. I didn't even read the Dhammapada. Let's read it again. One is the quest for worldly gain. What's worldly gain? I want a family. I want kids. I want to smoke cigarettes. I want to do drugs. I want to drink alcohol. I want to do everything to make sense to all the other people that are not chasing nirvana, that are doing the same thing, that are going to stay here in this vibration, right? And quite another is the path to nirvana. Rejecting all of that. Making sure that the body is under subjugation by your higher thinking in order to only have it serve as an antenna for the higher things, right? That is it. Clearly understanding this, let not the monk, right, and the disciple of the Buddha be carried away by worldly acclaim, but develop detachment instead. I told you this. This is logic. Logic. If you are attached to the things of the lower plane, there is no way you're going to ascend. There's just no way. It just can't happen. It will not happen ever. You have to liberate yourself, fools. And that is all that the chapter has to say. What final statement, right? I say this in all my videos. You guys are watching my channel because you want to ascend. You want to see what semen retention can do for you. Now I'm going to tell you, it is not just the mere act of repressing your semen, your essence. You have to have control in the mind and stop seeking the things of this world. You should stop having families, stop having kids, stop doing drugs, stop drinking alcohol, because you will never ascend. It's not possible. Semen retention will eventually become a snare. This is the logical route of semen retention. Celibacy leads you to detachment of the world. There is not an ascended master that has existed or will ever exist that is part of the world, that loves the riches and loves to show off things to people that don't understand, that don't have the faculty to understand true wealth, that will ever exist, that will be a good, benevolent, altruistic person. It cannot exist in this space. Follow semen retention. Let it morph your mind. Allow it to destroy you. You must be burned alive by the fires that is created by semen retention. Make sure that the body is a complete vessel for the things of the higher realm. Stop chasing parties with friends. Stop smoking cigarettes. Stop doing drugs. Stop drinking alcohol. Stop seeking families. Stop trying to have kids. There are all fetters. You will never ascend at all, and semen retention will be a snare to you. I've gone through the tunnels of fate. I have went through the realms of the higher. I have been in the realms of the lower. I have gotten in trouble with the world. I have gotten in trouble. Oh, well, maybe the trouble of the world was ordained by the things of the higher realm. But I have went through a lot of existences. I'm telling you, I've traveled myriad places. I've been all over the world. The rules are still the same. I have entertained many different religions. The rules are still the same. Follow the common divine logic. Do not seek to be stagnant. Do not seek to spill, which goes lower, which becomes foul naturally. retain, and things must naturally get higher. And that's how you will float as well. And with that being said, that is all I have to say today about the fool in the Dhammapada. If you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. Remember, it is of a low vibration. It's of a low vibration. This is logic. This is the ultimate truth. Semen retention is incredibly powerful. Celibacy is incredibly powerful. The thing is that I'm going to tell you, the practice of celibacy is of a higher vibration. It brings you to a higher tunnel of fate. If you are still thinking of trying to have families, of still thinking of trying to do drugs, drink alcohol, and whilst you're doing semen retention, there is a disconnect, and semen retention will become a prison to you, and you will validate to yourself to follow the things of the world, because the majority of your vibration of you is of the world. Logic, think, use your brain. The reason why it is a little difficult, right? It was a little difficult for the ascended masters to ascend is because the vibration of their vessel is telling them every single day and haunting them in their dreams that they must be part of the world. Even though their brains and their higher ways of thinking tell them that it's time to ascend. It's time to get to the higher realms. That is the consistent push and pull of existing in this basis reality. Be logical. Let's be of the higher realms. Shunt the things of the world. Let not the monk, let not the saint, let not the people that come in whatever name of what religion tell you that this is important, because it's not. It's not. This world will never be important, ever. We are just existing temporarily. How many years we have generally? Like 85 years, 90 years? And of course, if we're maintaining our vessels, like 100 years? That's nothing in the whole grand scheme of time. Suffer now, be celibate, do not drink, stop seeking children, stop seeking families. This is easy stuff, and keep going. Trust me, loneliness or whatever byproduct that might come about because you are taking down this practice, whatever that comes about, that is nothing. That is nothing. And with that being said, stay radiant, my friends. I'm going to see you in the next analysis. Woo!